Hello guys, welcome to my 7th video of DBMS tutorial series. In this video I'm gonna take you through my 7th question set. In this question set we have to create a database that will used by a software in Next Computer company. So as you can see here we have a table that contains some product information and we have 5 instructions. Now let's follow those one by one. The first instruction tells us to create a database named Next Computer to save the data in the product table. Okay, now let's create the database by right clicking on the schemas panel and clicking on that context menu item. So the database name must be Next Computer. Database name must be Next Computer, not Next Computers. So click on apply, click on finish. Okay, now let's close this tab, we don't need that. We can expand this. Let's follow the second instruction. It tells us to create a table named product in your database. Follow the instructions below to create a table. Now in this table we can see the information that we need to use when we create this product table. Right, now let's create that table quickly. Right click on the tables item when you expand the database, and then you'll get a new context menu and click on this create table item. Our table name must be product, and we can double click here to add some columns. So the first column is ID, data type of that is integer, so we need to make that column as primary key. So the primary key cannot be null, so that's why these both checkboxes has checked. And we need to mark it as auto increment. You can see that here they have told us to mark this as auto increment. So now let's move to the next column, which is brand, and it has this data type and the length is 45, and we have model, it's also same as the brand column. And next we have quantity, it must be an integer. And next we have price, it must be double because price can contain some floating point values. Okay, now we have added some columns and named our table. Now let's click on apply to create the table, and click on apply again, click on finish. Okay, now let's close this tab. Now let's move to the next instruction. Insert the data into the product table you created. Use the data in the product table above. Okay, now you can see this table, and this table contains some information of different products, and we need to insert those data into the table that we have created. Expand your database, then you can see some triangle icon in front of the tables item. That means we have something in it. So when you expand that, we can see our table. When you hover on your table name, we get three icons. So click the rightmost icon, then we'll get a new content like this area we use to write SQL queries. That means we use this area to do some tasks with the database by using SQL queries. And this area we use to do some tasks with the database graphically, so we don't need to write queries each time that if we need to do some simple task. So now let's add those data. So you can move between cells using your arrow keys. I'm gonna enter first row, and the quantity is 15, price is 175,000, and then you can see I can move between cells using arrow keys. I'm gonna add the second column, which is ASUS, and the model is ROG Zephyrus M15 and 18 338,000. Okay, now try to add other information into the table. Pause the video and look at this table and try to add those information. After you add those information, come back to the video to continue watching. Okay guys, I have added this information that you can see in the table. Now we need to click on apply to insert those data into the table. Let's click on apply again, click on finish. Okay, now let's close this tab. If we actually see our table data, you can see those data has inserted successfully. Now let's follow the next instruction. Fourth instruction tells us this: the owner of this store has identified the Lenovo brand as the least sold computer brand in his company. He has decided to remove the Lenovo brand from his store. Write the relevant query statement to remove the Lenovo brand. Okay, now let's write that query to remove the Lenovo brand from the table. Okay, I'm gonna keep this query because that we use that to see our table data. So I'm gonna delete the Lenovo brand now. We need to type delete something from, and our table name is product. Delete something from product table. Now we need to tell what data that we need to delete. So we need to put where, and after the where keyword we need to put our condition that we use to get the data. So the condition is brand column must be Lenovo. So now this finds the brand column in the table and goes through each value and find whether that value is Lenovo or not. If that value is Lenovo, this is gonna delete that row. So if we execute that by clicking on this lightning symbol, actually we have here, because we haven't selected any database, so we need to select our database to run this one. So to do that, we can double click on the database. Now let's run this one. Then you can see all the Lenovo brand in the database. We have one Lenovo brand here as the fourth ID. You can see we cannot see the ID 4 in the table, so we cannot see any Lenovo word here in the brand column. Okay, now let's move to the next instruction. The Asus brand ROG Sapphire M15 laptop is no longer manufactured, so it has been decided to remove this laptop from the database. Write the required edit query statement. So I'm gonna edit this query. So this part is same. Now I'm gonna say brand name must be Asus. If we run this one, we delete all the rows that contains Asus in the brand column. So we have 3 rows: this one, and this one. So what we need to do, we need to only remove this one. So to do that, we need to use the brand column and the model column to get the exact item. So here I use brand column. Now I'm going to use the model column. So the model must be this value, now we find the row that contains this value as the model value and this value as the brand, and if we find that row, we completely delete that row. So let's execute that. Actually there is something, oh right, I have put this value as wrong one. So let's execute that. See, you can see here we have deleted this row. That row ID is 2, so we can see any row that contains 2 as ID. Okay, now this is the end of our 7th question set. I hope you guys learned from this video. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you like this video, give a like to this video and share this video to others to know this stuff. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.